By now you have an understanding of what is workforce planning. Simply put, it is the ability to plan for the right number of people with the right competencies in the right jobs at the right time. This enables you to be prepared to accomplish your short-term goals and your long-term goals. In this course, we will work with actual data on Excel to demonstrate how data-driven decisioning can help you plan for your workforce better. So some of the steps that we use in the entire workforce planning cycle are as follows. So you start off with defining what your future goals will be. That is where you want the company to be, maybe 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, even 5 years or 10 years down the line. These are your future goals. You look at your current status and you try to figure out where you are right now, and then you see what is the gap between these two. And that gap fulfillment is what you need a strategy for. So the most important part here is to be able to measure this gap accurately and then prepare the right strategy that helps you meet these future goals and bridge this gap. And as you start putting the strategy into practice, you will realize that there are a lot of variables which are not within your control. So there will always be unexpected circumstances that might result in your strategy not materializing in the fruits that you expected it to. So the final step in this cycle is to keep monitoring where you are with your success metrics and make sure that you are constantly reevaluating and revising your strategy. And this will ultimately bring us full circle into maybe needing to have a better understanding of what the current future goals are. So always keep in mind that when we are working with these, with future, with strategy, with planning, there is always a rolling influx of information to you, and you need to make sure that you're constantly keeping an eye out for this extra information which is coming and then incorporating it into your plan so that you're always best prepared for what your current strategy should be. And these are, in a nutshell, are your workforce planning steps. During this course, we will spend time at each step and see how we can achieve this. Let's start with the first one, which is how to define future goals. This entire thing starts with having a clear understanding of the organizational vision. As an HR analyst, it is really important that you have a seat at the table where these decisions are being taken, and you have these clear channels of communication that help you understand what the organization is expecting to achieve in the time to come. Some of the examples that demonstrate what this vision could be to have plans for expanding in certain geographical areas, increasing sales of certain products or services, maybe even taking decisions to cost cut in some other services that you're providing, or to focus on a new product or a new program launch. And these kind of things are really, really important for you to know so that you can plan for them and you have enough lead time available to have the right workforce in place to help your organization achieve this vision. Secondly, you need to be able to look at these goals and then put some kind of a timeline next to them. So, for example, you might have some short-term goals where you have some requirements which need to be fulfilled in 3 months, in 6 months, in 1 year, versus some goals which are much longer term. And depending on the context of your own organization, these time intervals will vary. So for some organizations, short term could mean 2 weeks, 1 month or 3 months. And for some other organizations which are in a much more stable business, short term could mean even 1 year and 3 years. And accordingly, your long term timelines will also differ. So make sure that when you're looking at your future goals, you also have some kind of an understanding of what degree of future we need to look into. Ultimately, all of this needs to be looked at in the context of the larger ecosystem. So your organization is not working in isolation. You also need to have some understanding of the kind of job market you're working in, what are the other economic forces that you have to work within. Maybe there are certain labor market policies that you have to be aware of. You need to be also aware of what your competitors are doing and what kind of competition you may face in the future. So better understanding of the domain that you're working in and a better understanding of the industry that you're a part of will help you make better decisions. Um, and of course, as always, you have to make sure that you are prepared for surprises and fluctuations. Things do not always work out the way we plan for them. And a good analyst is able to account for some of these in their planning and strategy